Welcome to my channel. Um, yeah, this is my first live stream, so I'm very appreciative that everybody joined me this evening. All right, now, what we're going to talk about on this show tonight is we're going to talk about a lot of the hate that we've been receiving, the Passport Bro Brotherhood has been receiving lately. And we're going to address a lot of the lies that have been told, saying about the Passport Bros. Um, yeah, so that's what we're gonna get into. Let me just pull up a video for you guys so we can get started. So now, one thing I want to talk to you guys about first is our community. The Passport Bro Brotherhood, the guys that live overseas, and there's been like I guess there's a group of people out there that get confused, or maybe they're not confused. Maybe they're just being hateful. But what some people are doing is saying that any man or any black man that takes an overseas trip is a passport bro. Um, Whether it's a 2-day trip or not, you know, they're saying the guy's a passport bro. And a lot of these guys, what we call them, the guys that actually live here and everything, that are really passport bros and the ones that spend a significant amount of their time overseas, we call these guys, like weekend warriors or just bros on vacation, saying they just in and out. And so the guys that are really passport bros are the guys like myself, saying we live overseas, we spend a significant amount of our time overseas. And, you know, um, this is our home, basically. We live, we work here. A lot of us own businesses here. And as far as relationships are concerned, a lot of the passport bros that live overseas are married men, or they're in a serious relationship with a woman, and that's how they're living. We're not guys that are overseas just partying and having a good time, you know. But unfortunately, there's some people that have decided that this is how they want to, categorize us all in one thing, in one general category. That this is what passport bros do, when they see some of the other things that guys might be doing when they travel on trips. So that's where a lot of the hate is coming from. A lot of the lies are coming from that area. And let me just, I'm going to get into a couple of things for you. Yeah, so like I was saying, one of the biggest untruths that's being told about the passport bros right now is that we are, you know, catching HIV overseas and we're bringing it back to the United States. And there's been a couple of streamers that are making videos telling ladies to be careful of these passport bros because we're bringing HIV back. And that's a complete lie because they offer no proof or evidence that this is what we're doing, you know. And yeah, so that's where we're at right now with that. Let's see if we can pull this up here for you. Okay, apparently, Okay, I got this. Okay, so here we go. All right. I'm sorry, I had to,
quiet. And I called this.
okay, here we go.
I
This,
said it's going to get to a point where the passport bros are literally going to stop responding to foolery and they're just going to go off and enjoy their lives, which they have. And I've seen it.
so this
I've
is
seen
a
the
medium
work.
man. He's
First thing
addressing
that I saw
the
recently,
HIV lies
there's
that
some
spread
woman,
about
black woman,
passport
mind
bros.
you, and she's a nurse. She's spreading this
He's
lie
talking about
saying that
a lady who claims to be a
black
nurse,
men are going to the
and she's
Dominican
spreading a
Republic
lie about
and coming back with HIV. And
passport
every black
bros
woman
saying that,
believes it. This woman
you
has
know,
literally put out 3 or
that
4 or 5
that we're
videos
overseas
saying that passport bros are going to DR
contracting HIV
and they
and
are
spreading
getting
HIV.
HIV coming back. I've worked public health in all aspects
And,
for 20 for let me
Obviously,
say
that's not true. It's not backed up by any
15
factual
years.
information.
I
that,
currently work global health
men
for
traveling
5
overseas
years.
catching HIV
So I know the
and bringing it
statistics,
back.
brother. So when these women get on social media,
Okay, so that's what we're addressing right now. The whole lie that's out there about passport bros and the HIV lie, the sex tourism lie that's out there. That this is all we do is come over here and chase women. That's not true as well, you know. So all of these things that okay, hold on, let me get to your. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. I'm just getting into the live stream here, and I just want to make sure I don't miss any comments from you guys if anybody's watching. Yeah, so that's what it is right now. You know, there are a group of people, black men and black women, that are on TikTok right now, talking about the passport bros, and that is pretty much what they're saying. Now, a few weeks ago, there was a man that was traveling to Colombia, and while he was on the customs line in Cartagena, he claims that he overheard. Well, he said the customs line was full of black men, and he claims that he heard a lot of these black men talking about the good times they were having, that they were about to have in Cartagena, and everything. So he decided to make a video on TikTok and claimed that every black man that he saw on the customs line was in Cartagena just to pay for women, and for sex tourism, or S tourism, excuse me, on YouTube. Yeah, and so that set off like a firestorm of videos about passport bros saying that this is all that they do while they're overseas, you know. And then now, in the past week, we've had videos come out with the HIV lie, which is that, you know, what I'm talking about is that, you know, we're over here catching the disease and bringing it back to the United States and everything. And that's completely untrue. But one thing that I would like to state is that is why do people feel that they have to make up these kind of claims about us, you know? Now, as I recall, a couple of years ago, when the whole passport bro thing was first really starting to catch fire, you know, saying everybody was starting to talk about passport bros. This was a few years ago. I do recall that a lot of women were, you know, making comments saying that well, let those guys leave. If they want to leave the United States, they want to go find a wife or whatever overseas, then let them go. You know, we don't need those men anyway. Um, and a lot of people were saying that those are the men that we don't want in the first place. You know, those guys, the broken, dusty ones. You know, we're better off without those guys. Let them leave. You know, and so passport bros have pretty much moved on, and you know, we've moved overseas and we've gone on with our lives. We live in peace. You know, and so that should have been the end of it right there. But now here we are a couple of years later. The question is why is passport bros back on a lot of women's minds right now, and even the men, you know, that are coming out hating on passport bros. You know, why is all of a sudden the passport bros another big topic again? That's what I'm trying to understand. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, we should be left alone. I mean, if people felt that we weren't really about nothing, you know what I'm saying, and it was all about let them leave and all that stuff, why is it now 2025 and people still want to hate on passport bros, you know? And that's the discussion I would like to have is, and then not only do you want to hate on passport bros, why do you want to lie about us, you know? Why do you want to make videos saying that, you know, these guys are a bunch of disease carriers, and one other guy, you know, there's another video that and the guy had the nerve to say that we were all on the down low, you know, and I don't know where he got that from. Yeah, so that's a question that's you know, that needs to be answered. It's like, why do people feel that they still have to hate on a group of guys that are minding their own business, that live overseas, and you know, and not just that, just lie about them, you know. Now apparently there's a TikTok creator named Rod Faulkner, and I'm on his page right now on TikTok, and it looks like he took the videos down about the passport bros. Yeah, because I don't see what he put on here. Because he was one of the biggest talkers out there. Yeah, so yeah, so I'm looking all the way through Rod Faulkner's page on TikTok, and I don't see none of the videos that he made about the passport bros. Apparently, he appears to be a guy that's like a panderer to black women, you know, and okay, so he's done. So let me see. All right, let me show you another one that we're talking about here.
Passport bros, but I've heard a lot. Now, I don't know a lot about the quote unquote passport bros, but I've heard a lot about passport bros. Very interesting that men from here go overseas to find quote unquote the perfect wife. That's what they say. I knew it was kind of strange that I
Yeah,
never
so this is
see
another
any
lady
videos of any men that
that's
have
pushing the
successfully,
big lie,
excuse me, gone
saying that we're coming home
overseas
sick,
and found them a wife and brought them back
but
home
she obviously
and had a family with them and all this stuff they say they go over there to get. Now I have
she's
found out
pushing
why. I
this
have been seeing this for a while. Y'all ought to go look at some of these interviews. Allegedly, they are saying that when the men go overseas to find these quote unquote women that are
Well, she
so
didn't use the word
quote
allegedly as
unquote
now.
wifey material. It's not
Yeah.
about that. They're just going over there to sleep with these women for little or nothing. Yeah. Just going over there to sleep with a lot of different women. And guess in the meantime, guess what they're bringing home back over here?
Okay.
The HIV. Yeah.
There goes
Yeah.
the lie right
So
there.
ladies, if you are
Um,
fooling with men that are
so this lady
going
just pushed the lie herself.
overseas
You know.
on the
So the fact that people are really getting on here, the fact that people are really getting on the internet and spreading information about HIV and AIDS is crazy in 2025. Okay. Now, what I will say is that people should educate themselves on HIV, on how it's contracted, and who it is contracted from. Okay. The passport bros, and I'm only using them because, of course, this is a hot topic right now because the nurse got on here and said, healthcare talks. Okay. And one thing what we're now hearing is that these so-called passport bros are coming back HIV positive. So that welcoming party is welcoming you to the world of AIDS. Okay, so what I'm saying to you is these men are not going to different countries and getting welcome parties from women, biologically born women.
Okay. So, like I said, I have no idea um, why they're pushing this falsehood here. Um, yeah. And the people that are putting this out there, they're not. They're obviously not. They're obviously not. You know, providing any type of research or anything like that. Or they're not providing any kind of evidence. You know, saying they're not providing any kind of statistical data as to you know what they're saying. You know, they're not backing their stuff up with facts. You know, saying they're just throwing this stuff out there. And what they're getting this really from is they get this from the Dominican Republic. I believe that there was a report out that there was a certain number of HIV cases in the Dominican Republic, and they're saying that since that is a popular destination amongst passport bros, that obviously the guys are probably over there having unprotected intercourse and bringing the stuff back. But you know, it's an unproven thing. Then, like I said, it's just a flat out lie. Because let's, like I said, we talk about the community, the passport bro community. These are guys that are not overseas to party. You know, when you talk about real passport bros, a lot of us that are over here are older guys like myself up in the 50s. A lot of us are retired. Um, a lot of us have remote jobs. Some of us own businesses. There's guys that are here in Colombia that own businesses here in Colombia that they started once they moved here. Those are the passport bros. Those are the real guys that are, you know, that are considered passport bros. Now, guys that come here just to party, or they go to Dominican Republic just to party for a few days, you know, those are not passport bros. And even amongst those guys, you know, the HIV thing that's out there, that's unproven amongst them. You know what I'm saying? Nobody has any, you know, factual information saying that these guys contracted a disease overseas and they brought it back home. You know what I'm saying? So this stuff is not being backed up, you know. And like I said, you know, people just need to find a way sometimes to attack a group that I don't know if it's just maybe spite or jealousy or what it is, being vindictive. It's something that I see that's very prevalent in the black community is the whole crabs in the barrel mentality, you know, where we just don't like to see a part of our community, the black community, do something that might make them live a better life. You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of black people that just don't like to see other black people maybe be more successful in life. You know, something that they can't do. You know, and that's what the crabs in the barrel mentality is. You know, we got to pull each other back down. You know, a group of men decided that a group of black men decided that living in America just wasn't a good place for them. You know, the quality of life wasn't good. You know, the systemic racism that we've been dealing with for our entire existence in America. Our anti-black male criminal justice system, our anti-black male family court system. You know, we deal with, you know, like I said, we deal with a high level of stress in America, mental health issues. You know, and a lot of us during the course of our travels, man, on vacations and stuff, we found places where we can live a better life. And guys decided to turn their vacations into permanent homes, you know what I'm saying? Let me move overseas, you know what I'm saying? This place looks like a place where I can really be happy for the rest of my life. And that's a decision that men made. It wasn't just a decision about women, you know? That's a whole nother discussion. You know, a lot of passport bros made their decision to move overseas just based on a whole other factors going on in their life, you know? And yeah, meeting a good woman is, you know, it's like damn near at the bottom of the list for a lot of guys, believe it or not, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, it is true that, yes, there are guys that, yeah, that have issues with the modern American woman, you know, the non-traditional type, you know. And you know what? If a man decides that he wants to live in another country and meet a more traditional woman from a different culture, you know, I don't see anything wrong with that, you know. If a man decides that he wants to expand his options, you know, explore something different and go somewhere else to meet the woman that he wants to settle down with, yeah, I don't see why he would be attacked for that, you know. Yeah, and I definitely don't see why people would want to not only attack the man, but, you know, spread false lies about him. Yeah, that just doesn't make any bit of sense right there. But that's what we're seeing, unfortunately. Yeah, so for those that are watching that, the guys that are watching that are future travelers, you know, guys that are, there's a lot of guys that I talk to that want to be a part of the Passport Bro Brotherhood. They're thinking about moving overseas, you know what I'm saying? Not just visiting. Yeah. What I say to guys is, you know, don't be discouraged by what you're seeing right now. You know, the unproven lies, hatred. You know, you're probably going to deal with this yourself. Once you start making your plans to go overseas and visit, there are going to be people right there in your community that are going to tell you not to do it. They're going to say you don't want to be a part of that, you know what I'm saying? Because those guys over there doing this, that, and the other. So my advice to you is, you know, go see for yourself, you know. That's what I did, you know, 20 years ago, 2005, you know, when I made my first international trips. This year I'm celebrating 20 years of international travel. Yeah, and I do remember for the past 20 years, every trip I've gone on pretty much, I've dealt with people making discouraging remarks, you know, about me going overseas. And I'm very happy that I've ignored all those people. And I would encourage you guys to do the same thing. Yeah, don't let nobody get in your head and start telling you that you don't need to go certain places. You know, you need to go experience it for yourself. You know, don't. Yeah, there's a whole lot of misinformation out there that people are spreading, and the videos I just showed you and what we just talked about is part of it. You know, um, yeah, and the people that are out there doing it, man. I think they just really need to just get their life together, man, and just move on to other things and leave the passport bros alone. Yeah, because the hate thing just ain't working. It ain't stopping guys from traveling. Um, there's guys that are still out there that are, you know, that are gonna make their move. And it's not like America's becoming like this better place that people should want to stay there and not leave America. Right now, the current climate in the United States is the American dream now is to leave America. Um, and I myself, like I said, I'm here in Bogota, Colombia right now. Um, I've been here since July of last year. Yeah, and it's a place that I'm glad I chose to be my new home. Um, yeah. So I would say to guys, like I said, don't let what we just saw just now, discourage you from doing what you feel would be best for you. If you feel that an overseas move is something that you want to explore, um, gather up factual information. Do your research. Take a few trips and visit places and see for yourself. Um, don't let the crabs in the barrel mentality get to you. Um, you know, and like I said, the people that are out here spreading the false lie that passport bros are contracting HIV and coming back home with it. Well, first of all, that's a lie in itself because if you're a passport bro, you're not coming back home in the first place. You're probably living overseas. So, I don't know why they're giving all these warnings to black women to be careful of these guys, because we're not coming back in the first place. We're staying over here. Yeah. So, so that whole thing there is just a big falsehood, and like I said, the guys that are really passport bros that live overseas and everything, they're not S tourists, Um, they're guys that are just living a normal everyday life overseas, like I do, we get up and go to work every day just like anybody else, except we do it in a foreign country. A lot of guys have children here, got a whole family. So they get up and they take their kids to school every day, and then they go to work and stuff. And then they spend time with their family after work, a lot of the guys here that are married, their wife works. And, it's pretty much like a normal family life, Yeah, so don't confuse the party guys with passport bros, because that's not what they are. They're party guys. There's guys that come here to Colombia and they come from Thursday to Sunday, and they just come here to have a good time and party, and that's what they do. And you know what? I don't knock them guys for doing that. That's how you want to live. That's on you. You're a grown man. I'm not going to get in your business. But nobody should put the label of passport bros in those guys, because that's not what they are. They just, short-term fun guys, But, yeah, they're just, I try to stay away from it, I mean, I am on TikTok and I see what's being said, and obviously it doesn't bother me, I'm just, but I think it does need to be addressed. That's why I decided to do this live stream and make that the topic of my discussion is the HIV lie about passport bros, because that's what it is, and I hope that more guys do streams and talk about this. Yeah, because, we're under attack by people, and, there's nothing good about somebody defaming your character, pretty much, you know what I'm saying? And just putting stuff out there with no proof or evidence, you know? And that's exactly what this is, you know? There's nothing that's been proven that black men that have traveled overseas have come back with any diseases, you know? There's nothing been proven that even black men that go overseas and spend time with women are doing or having unprotected sex, you know? Yeah, that's never been proven either, you know? And there's no proof out there that, like somebody said that these guys are mostly down low guys. That's unproven. I don't know where they get that from, that these guys are on the down low, you know? Yeah, so, you know, that's pretty much what I got to say about it, man. You know, and I appreciate everybody who joined me tonight, you know, for this live. What I would like to ask you to do is, since this is a new channel, just like, share, and subscribe. You know, I was a little rough tonight. You know, it's my first live stream, and I appreciate y'all hanging in there with me. But I will be back with more live streams, and you know, because you know, the channel is new, and for those that are my early subscribers, I do appreciate it. You know, supporting the channel. And this live stream tonight too, I just want to let y'all know there is a link in the description. I'm using Riverside software, you know, the podcasting software, live stream software. I'm using Riverside, and you know, so if you guys are thinking about doing a podcast and you want to know what streaming software to use, yeah, you check that link there in my description. I'm part of the affiliate program with Riverside, so you can help me out with that. And I appreciate you supporting the channel, and I appreciate you tuning in tonight. So this is the Old Head Abroad, KJ Mack, coming to you from Bogota, Colombia, and I will be back with more on this channel. Thank you for your support.